Hey guys, and welcome to part 2. And yeah, I hope you're sticking with us, and if you're still watching this, thanks. And then talking of it, we found there's the programme for The Wicked we actually saw.
I think it's signed inside.
So that's the alphabet we had, which was Kerry Ellis.
Yeah.
And as well as we've got a signature on the front there, I don't know who it is because it's just a squiggle. And then inside on the actual cast credits, we've got a load of signatures too.
I think it's Kerry Ellis, there's whoever Fierro was.
We got Kerry Ellis, and then I think we got Oliver Thompson,
who's and we got whoever played the wizard.
Oh, what, Nigel Planer?
Yeah.
From The Young Ones.
Yes.
Yes. And this is just literally the programme for the cast we saw.
Amazing.
And for the Victoria. Was it Victoria? Yeah, the Victoria play. Yeah. So yeah, that was awesome.
Okay. Mark gushed about Guillermo del Toro, and I shall continue in the same theme. We've got the Man, Machines and Monsters book for Pacific Rim. I love robots.
Ellie gets lady boners over robots.
I love Pacific Rim. I don't even know where to start. I know it's had a lot of hate.
You're a weirdo.
I'm a weirdo. I have downstairs. We've got a Cherno Alpha model, and I'm planning to get them all. And so yeah, this book is, in my opinion, amazing. The
same way that
this says it all about Guillermo del Toro, doesn't it? There he is. I think that's Charlie. Yeah, cuddling Charlie Hunnam in his suit.
So yeah,
it's just two things. It's Guillermo del Toro. Three things. Sorry, Guillermo del Toro for starters. We love Guillermo. It's robots, massive robots that like stride through the waves
and look like massive robots
and get dropped off the bottom of helicopters. And like Cherno Alpha is my favourite because it's just so
a walking nuclear reactor.
And I also like Charlie Hunnam.
So. And Ron Perlman.
And Ron Perlman. And the two guys who played the two.
Yeah.
Gottlieb and
Gottfried.
Yeah.
Charlie Day and Bern Gorman.
Yeah, Charlie Day. Awesome.
Yeah, we could make videos on Guillermo del Toro stuff. We're both huge fans.
Yeah,
so next I have got John Landis's Monsters in the Movies, 100 Years of Cinematic Nightmares. Another coffee table book about horror movies, but this obviously goes further than just Universal. It goes all the way from Universal up to like John Landis era and further. So yeah, it's what you'd expect in a coffee table book about horror movies. We have, with an introduction by Del Toro, Hellboy, The Art of the Movie. This is the first one. This was the first movie of Guillermo del Toro's that we became obsessed with.
It was so strange because we watched there was two types of trailer. The first teaser trailer was awful.
Yeah,
we were sat in the cinema watching it and like, what is that?
Yeah, so we went somewhere and we went to see a movie and there was a cinematic trailer for the movie, and we thought it looked like the stupidest thing ever, Hellboy. And so we ignored it, didn't do any...
No.
We were completely off the grid, and then we saw, or I think I saw the trailer for the DVD.
Yeah.
And I was like, this looks amazing. So I told Ellie and we watched it, and then from then on the love affair started. And I mean, just the artwork in here is incredible. So yeah. Right, next we have the inside HBO's Game of Thrones. This is for seasons 1 and 2. I think we actually picked this up before we'd seen the end of season 2. Yeah. So I remember I think we had it and we couldn't read it.
We started quite late, so we binge watched season 1 and 2 in like a week.
Yeah, put it this way, it's my fault. For ages, I didn't want to see it because I can't stand sword and sandals fantasy. It bores the living crap out of me. I hate big swords and dragons, and it has to be something really interesting to get me into it. So that's why I avoided it.
And
but then I think...
I guess, to begin with, Game of Thrones has got that, if you look at it from the outside, that medieval feel, and you're just like...
Yeah, and it took all of our friends in succession. They all slowly started saying, you need to watch Game of Thrones, you need to watch Game of Thrones. And Ellie was sold. She was happy to watch it, but I wasn't, and it took ages, and eventually we settled down to watch it, and as with everyone else on the planet, became absolutely addicted to it. So yeah, and I mean, there's a picture of Khal Drogo there. May he rest in peace. And yeah.
We're keen to know.
Spoilers! We have Too Much Horror Business. This is a book by Kirk Hammett, the guitarist for Metallica. and his massive horror collection. Again, again, it's just a normal horror kind of coffee table book. But yeah, awesome.
We've got The Day of the Dead. El Dia de los Muertos by Dr. Aladret. Sorry, I'm not very good with accents. As you can tell by the theme of most of everything for us, we love Day of the Dead. The Mexican style one.
Yeah, we love Dia de los Muertos. We had a wedding themed on it as a celebration of our mums, and yeah, it's literally a photo book of just different artists have done their representation of Dia de los Muertos.
It's all traditional style though.
Yeah, they're like graffiti artists or tattoo artists and stuff, but it's all very, very traditional.
I think it
explains, paying homage.
It explains a little bit about where each part comes from. So, like, why they use a bony woman, why they use the shrines, why they use skulls. It's really, really good. Oh.
Next, we have the Hamlin Book of Horror. Again, another horror coffee book. And this one is quite an old one. It's got hand drawn. I think actually this is like the history of the people behind horror stories, so like Vlad the Impaler and Elizabeth Bathory. So yeah.
What? Dr. Horrible's sing-along. This started as a
Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog.
Sing-along blog, sorry. It started as web episodes, didn't it?
Yeah.
It's got I can't remember his name. Neil Patrick Harris.
Yeah.
As the main character, and then there's
Nathan Fillion as the villain. Josh Whedon's in it. Jed Whedon, Zach Whedon, Felicia Day.
So it's awesome. It's a really, really good blog. It's a blog. It's about a evil villain who is trying to get into this evil villain's like superior club, but they're not accepting him because he's rubbish.
And then he falls in love.
And actually it's a really good, without spoiling it, it's really good because the ending isn't what you think it's going to be. And it's just all the bits about them going to Comic-Con and how they came up with it.
Okay, next I have the Lego minifigure year by year visual history. Ellie's dad got me this because I always say how much I love Lego, and I am a big Lego fan. I want more Lego in my life, but nowadays it is quite expensive. This is basically just going through year by year all of the different Lego figures that released, and I'm yet to look through this properly, but I'm sure I can find the year full of the ones that I wanted, that I had. But yeah, and it came with 3. So you had the townsperson, a stormtrooper, and a robber. So that's kind of cool. Yeah.
We've got The Art of Sleepy Hollow. Again, this is a film we both loved, or still love. It was Good Days.
I still haven't seen it.
I thought you watched it. No, it's just me then. And it's Tim Burton. It's just the storybook. Quite a lot of scripts and...
I think we picked it up really cheap at a car boot or something.
£2. Probably the works. That's what it looks like. And the final one I've got is The World of the Dark Crystal. It's done by... Who's the guy who does all the puppeteering?
Jim Henson.
Jim Henson. It's really dark. It used to scare the living crap out of me as a child. It used to make me cry when the thingies died. Won't give you any more than that. And it's amazing. I don't know where we got this from. It was quite battered when we got it. But it's like all the concept art for all the characters. It's amazing, and we're really lucky we found it. Just a little bit battered. Yeah.
And the final book I had, I'm actually going to let Ellie talk about once I've introduced it. It is Jack the Ripper, the case book. It comes with all of this stuff that's on the back here. Yeah, gosh.
Yeah, again, a bit like the Dragons one. There's loads of pop-out things. So, I'm obsessed with Jack the Ripper because it was never sold, because there were so many suspects.
And conspiracies.
Because it was such a high-profile case back then. So this goes through all of the different angles of what happened at the time, how they policed it, all the people that were murdered, all the ones that they think were probably murdered by Jack the Ripper, but they didn't know at the time.
Weren't officially added to the...
And then, it's like a case book, so then I've got, like, the letters Jack the Ripper wrote to the police taunting them.
Or people who said they were Jack the Ripper.
Autopsy notes, and they're all done on this paper, so they feel quite authentic. It's all really flimsy.
It's really cool.
And then at the end it goes a little bit more modern and talks about who the most likely suspects were, why the Ripper was never caught.
Is that the guy that went to America?
Yeah, there's lots of conspiracy theories. One was a surgeon who went to America. Someone else was supposed to have died. I haven't read it for a long time, but it's amazing. I don't even know where we got it from. But I love interactive books like that, and this is one of those true crime ones which I love.
Right, guys, thanks for watching. That was our non-fiction overview. There was no order to that, as if you've watched to this point, you will know. Thanks for sticking with us through the 2 parts. I know it's 2 long videos. But yeah, we've got so much book. We didn't realise we had this many non-fiction books, honestly.
No.
But it's cool to show them, because there's some stuff in here that we'll know we're going to look through soon that we completely forgot that we even owned.
And non-fiction books tend to be a buy because you love something. Like, you can try out normal books loads, but you wouldn't ever try out a non-fiction book generally unless it's something you're interested in. So these are all books we love. Yeah, that's a good point. That is a very good point, because, yeah, pretty much all of them have been... We wouldn't own them if we didn't love the thing they were about. As Milo agrees. So yeah, cheers for watching, guys, and we will see you in the next ones. Bye. Bye.
Tripped. I'm sorry I tripped you in the hall. I'm sorry I tripped you in the den. I'm sorry I tripped you in the bedroom. I'm sorry I tripped you in the kitchen. I'm sorry I tripped you in the attic. I'm sorry I tripped you in the basement. I'm sorry I tripped you out on the door. I'm sorry I tripped you on hard cement. But some men paid me £5 grand to kill you.